All right, you're welcome back to the show. Still journalist hangout. Moving on straight to our final conversation. Contrary to news making the rounds, the federal government says it has not banned open grazing nationwide. Rather, it is implementing a gradual transition towards modern ranching. According to the Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Muktameha, the government intends to rehabilitate and equip the country's 273 gazetted grazing reserves, covering over 4.5 million hectares, to serve as structured hubs for livestock business across the country. He said the approach aims to provide viable alternatives for pastoralists, support productivity, reduce farmer-herder conflicts, and build a sustainable livestock economy without abruptly outlawing open grazing. I mean, why is the federal government issuing repeated clarifications on open grazing? What does this suggest?
Well, I think, for me, the issue of open grazing is something that some states have taken decisions already. And I know some states have banned open grazing. So for me, if we really have respect for federal structure,
okay,
I don't think we can have a national legislation that we are acceptable to all the 30 states, especially when what we are talking about is not part of their own agro system. So if Oyo State says, I don't want open grazing, I don't think it should be imposed, you know, on Oyo State, or Ekiti State, for instance, or Cross Rivers. And I also feel that if some states feel that, look, open grazing is comfortable for them, they should be allowed to have open grazing in their own state. If Kano wants to have open grazing, there's nothing bad there. And I think even in the north, ranching is not a new phenomenon. As far back as 1965, there have been laws on ranching that were passed into law in those parts of the country. Ahmadu Bello built several ranches in the north. Even Awolowo built ranches. You know, we had one in Odeda, we have one in Akono. We have one in Imeko. And even when the UPN came in 1979, there was one in a community, Okeako, in Ekiti State. So I think these things should be left for the states to decide, because by the time federal government takes that responsibility, it's going to clash with, you know, especially in the context of the clashes we have in all over the country.
All right, BKO, how do you weigh in here?
Yeah, I saw a picture today of 2 guys arrested by the DSS having unleashed their cattle on someone's farm in Benue State.
Okay.
You can imagine, this is harvest time for people.
Yes.
You unleash cattle into their farms. These are the things that breed violence.
Absolutely.
And we know that ranching can effectively stop the kind of cattle herder crisis that we have faced over the years. You know, some of the killings, in fact, many of the killings that we're talking about in the Middle Belt are farmer-herder related. But some people want us to believe that everything is just targeted at killing Christians. So ranching is the way to go. And the minister made that clear, that with ranching, we can achieve greater productivity, because even the cows will produce far more milk if they are staying in a place than unleashing them, making them roam all the way from the north to the south. It's just commonsensical. The water that you need is readily available. Even the veterinary doctors that will take care of the cattle, they are readily available. The milk market is also going to be in that same vicinity. So even your wives who are selling milk don't have to go several kilometers to sell. This is something that we must embrace.
Yes.
But I agree that it has to be a gradual thing, because Benue State tried to fast track it, and it led to even more violence, with even the security volunteers slaughtered, more than 100 killed in one day.
Wow.
So we have to do it, but we have to do it gradually. I believe that that is the way to go.
Absolutely.
And someday we will achieve it, instead of the open grazing that is already antithetical, that is no longer the vogue
Exactly.
globally.
Exactly. BKO, thank you so much for doing this with us all the way from Abuja
Thanks.
Studios. Thank you very much. Adewale Adeoye.
Thank you very
so
much.
much for coming
Thank you.
into the studio to have this conversation with us. And that's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program.